It's so good when I want to start somewhere and a cutscene happens before I start recording. What do you want, Pi?
Taking part in the Holy Palace tournament.
Got a problem with that, Pi?
So Master Yada sees all and knows all, huh? I guess he still gets his jollies from spying on others.
Try not to forget. That's also the reason you can get information on Triad and Shino, alright?
Honestly, I don't think we've gotten much information about either of them at all. Yada can't even recognize Triad's kite.
Strong Ida signal coming from him.
Then Sirius has
Possibly been affected by Ida in much the way Endurance was.
Alright, I think we can all piece together that Sirius is infected. Like, this is like the third time we're going over this.
As soon as we know more, I'll let you know. Secondly, since the Ida server incident, the number of illegally modified players has increased.
Oh? Illegally modified how?
Isn't that CC Corp's problem?
She is CC Corp.
CC Corp is unable to control
Chiyu is CC Corp.
IDs.
What? Then that would mean they're all...
Yes. They all have a faint Ida signal coming from them.
Oh,
Acting outside
jeez.
the limitations of the game, abnormal behavior. It's safe to assume that Ida has gone beyond merely corroding the game and has now started to affect the players as well.
How can that be? I mean, this isn't an Ida server, is it?
This is just a guess, but perhaps some of the players who returned from the Ida server were infected by Ida while they were there.
Oh,
All it would
jeez.
take would be a few to start, and the infection would quickly spread from player to player.
Wow, just like the flu.
The situation is becoming worse by the minute. We need to take immediate action. Also, in his own way, Master Yada is, well, concerned about you and the girl.
I'm sure.
Concerned, huh?
The girl is concerned about you too, you know. Be good to her.
I hate how Pi just keeps on calling her the girl.
Alcade and I are gonna need another team member.
Like, you all know
There's no way I could invite
she's Adelaide. Why do you keep calling her the girl? Like, there's like this big distance between you guys. If she's an Epitaph user, you guys are all gonna be working together, so... I don't know. Oh, by the way, welcome back to Let's Play .hack.gu. So I think I had enough of Pi. Just telling me shit, so... I'm going to go do something a little more fun. A lot of this episode is going to be bike mission stuff. I guess not a lot, like half of it. But I do introduce bike missions here. So, unfortunately, because he's a filthy lowlife duck, he doesn't get his own house in Makanu. He just, like, hangs out on the road here. But this is the NPC you'll talk to for keeping track of bike mission rewards and stuff like that. He'll keep track of the number of races you do and the number of Chim Spheres you collect along with that. Unfortunately, it's weird, because like all of the NPCs will keep track of your, it's like a ratio, like, well, not a ratio, but I don't know, it'll say like, you've got 5 out of a total of 50, but like you can see here, the Chim Chims collected, it's just like a number, so you don't really know the max you can get. You just kind of gotta wait until the dude says, hey bro, I don't have any more shit to give you, so just come back in the next game. But yeah, so if you remember, we got an email from CC Corp saying that if you do that word passing in the first word of an area, you can do a bike mission, and there's, I think, 5 different bike missions that you can do, and calling them missions is kind of weird, because they're more like just races, and they're just different types of races. But basically, there are going to be 3 King Chim Chims placed along this area, and you gotta hit all 3, and that's the race. You can hit them in any order you want, so there's like a little bit of like a puzzle and strategy kind of thing to do for like which route to take. Like the 2 at the top of that map that just showed up, that's, you can like think like, what's the best way to get that? Should I get the top one first and then go down to the second, or would it be faster to do the other one? the Chim Spheres themselves, or the Chim Chims, I guess, themselves, kind of make a line of the way you're supposed to take anyway. I think there's like a few of them where you should go off the beaten path, but if you'll notice in the bottom right, it'll say boost. When you get 10 Chim Spheres, so like basically anytime you get one group of Chim Spheres at all, you'll be able to do a boost, and that's key to winning a lot of these races. Luckily, even the Chim Spheres will start decreasing as you use a boost, so it might be like a little unnerving that your boost is just going to suddenly end. And there are some situations where it does kind of screw you over, and that complete lack of speed does throw you off. But there's usually enough Chim Chims grouped together where you'll just keep collecting them anyway. So you got to do a combination of boosts and getting better equipment and bike tune-up parts. I don't do this for this playthrough here. I was doing this for like 15 minutes, I think. I cut out most of the footage. I'm just keeping in the races I do where I beat my best time. Once you get better parts, you'll be able to do better in the races themselves. This was just kind of me just wanting to do it on my own, because, I don't know, I guess I was like thinking that you didn't need the advanced parts, but I don't know why I thought that. When it comes to like speedrun races kind of like these, especially when they're such short bursts, they get like really addicting for me, and I try to keep like just trying to cut like as much of a millimeter of a corner as I possibly can, just to shave off like a few milliseconds. Because that's what it all really comes down to at the end of, after you've done so many races, you've just gotta keep doing milliseconds, and just keep shaving them off until you get those top scores. And I guess you're supposed to, the race part kind of is, you're just beating the best times, as if you're racing these people, like, but you're not actually racing them, you're just like competing for the best times. So, like I mentioned in an earlier episode, this is, kind of like the Grunty races from the first game. It's kind of the same concept of hitting 3 things within a group, but this time they give you 10 other people to do, and you can get different prizes for placing at different ranks up there. So when you do these bike races, try to keep your inventory open, because oh yeah, and if you screw up, you can also just break your bike, and then you can restart from there. Keep your inventory open, because sometimes you'll get prizes and you may have to give up another item if you want to keep it. But if you'll notice on the ranking thing, you see quite a number of people you might recognize, both as NPCs, people that you might have seen on the board, and other characters. Like, Matsu is the top guy, and then there's Kun and Gabi in there as well. But, I don't know, I think these are really fun. This is probably the best side quest in the entire GU series. It's, it kind of feels like a different game altogether, because it feels more like a racing kind of thing. But I guess nothing complicated enough to be a racing game. Like, this is just this RPG's version of a racing minigame, and plenty of RPGs have them. I'm sure you've done similar things before, but I think they're fun. I think they're worth doing. I definitely wait until you get more money to upgrade your parts earlier, because like, I'll only be able to go like halfway up this ladder with the default parts here. But yeah, you'll see that a lot too. You'll end up, you know, trying to cut a corner when getting a Chim Chim that's placed in the corner, a King Chim anyway, and you'll just go right past it. So it's interesting, the number of little things that might make or break the race, like when to boost and when to you know, start cutting. And you know, you got to be careful too, because this isn't flat terrain. There are going to be different I guess, like, small little bumps and things that can sometimes throw you out of your boost. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just kind of wonky programming. But those are bike races. Those are fun to do. If you ever get into a cycle where you have to keep logging on for a short scene and then checking your email, that tells you to go back and do a short scene, and checking your email. That's like a nice thing to do in between. And you do get some good prizes, both from the race and from this guy here. And look how fast that got up. Like I said, I was playing for like 15 minutes, and we're already well over halfway there for the runs that are completed. Like, this is how... This is better. In fact, I'd say it's almost too easy. For all of these, collecting kind of side quests that these different NPCs keep track of your progress on. You know, the Vital Vistas and Macanu make you, like, save Mecha Grunty a ridiculous amount of times and stuff like that, and it's like, that's too much. This one, I don't know, maybe I'm just having too much fun with it and I do it more than they thought you would do it in the game, but it's way too easy too. But I definitely do these, you know, even if you lose the races and don't do well with them, as long as you actually complete the runs, you'll get all of these, like, skill boosting items. Like, we got one for boosting any allies' skill points by 50, and it takes 100 skill points to go to the next level. So basically, that's just half a skill point, or I don't know what you want to call it. It's halfway to the next skill level, the weapon level, and that's, you know, not always the most common thing to happen. So it's really good. We got another one that will increase everybody's by 50. We got HP increasing items and SP increasing items, and even though they may seem like small increments, when you put them all together, it does add up. And you do get these from doing those quests too. So you'll get like HP plus 25 and SP plus 25. You may be thinking, what's the big deal? But when you get like, you know, 5 or 6 of them by the end of the playthrough, that's like another 150 HP, and that's kind of a big deal. But we got some bonus parts, and this is where you'll go to tune up in your guild. It's just, you know, on the opposite side of the alchemy factory. And then there are those different stats for your bike, too. It'll show you, like, your max speed, how quickly you accelerate, your handling of the bike and stuff like that. And your bike will actually change appearance, too, for these different things. You know, Volume 2 is not too bad, but Volume 3, your bike looks really, really stupid by the end of it. Like, I don't know, it's almost like it's some kind of cartoonish parody of, like, a Ghost Rider bike from hell or something. I don't know. It fits Haseo's terror of death thing, I guess, but I don't know. It's not even like it's, like, black or gray or anything. It gets, like, you know, ugly puke green, and it's like, I'd rather just have the bike. But what's up with their emails? Oh, people replied to their greeting cards. Thank you for the greeting card. I feel like today is going to be a great day. You've made me so happy. You're always acting like a real rough and tough character, but you're actually very polite and well-mannered, aren't you? Nope. I hope I get to see the kind Haseo when I'm around. Good luck with that. Thanks for the greeting card. There's nothing like a single email or a single card to show you what someone really thinks of you. In that sense, they do more to touch one's heart, more valuable than any expensive present. Not. Thanks again. Yeah. He said it so anime-like and corny, but, you know, it is nice getting, like, an unexpected, but, like, happy thinking of you, I don't know, text or mail from somebody. It's fun. Haseo wasn't thinking of them, though. I was. But yeah, I guess we should go register for the tournament, even though I really, honestly thought we did that already, but whatever. I guess all we did was resign. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why this, you know, this sign-up process is taking so long. Man, during my first playthrough, I always used to ride that bike up and then, like, break it while, like, sliding to the side and, like, pull up right at the registration desk. And I don't know how I did it, because I keep trying throughout this entire playthrough, and I just can't do it. I just keep going wherever.
Are you competing in the arena?
Yeah, I'm joining the Holy Palace tournament.
Wow! So you're aiming to be another emperor, huh?
Not exactly. I joined the tournament in order to investigate Ida.
Well, technically that's kind of what you were doing the first time.
The Holy Palace Emperor, Sirius, has reportedly been infected by it. It also might be...
The Ida that stole my epitaph?
Yes.
So, you're doing this for me?
It works out that way.
When I was in the Ida server, I learned a lot of things from Master Yada.
Can everyone please stop calling him Master?
About Tri-Edge and the lost...
Like, enough with it. It's like, why?
And how Shino has been in a coma. I didn't know anything. I wanted to apologize to you.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. What are you apologizing for?
You were always doing your best to try and find a way to cure Shino.
Eh.
And yet,
Kinda had his heart
I
set on
was
playing a
only
game to do it.
myself.
What do you mean, thinking of yourself, Adelie?
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Haseo was thinking about himself,
It's
like,
true that I was
just as
frustrated with you for
equally.
looking like Shino. You don't have to apologize, alright?
I mean, he pulled you into the last tournament just to use you for a third person.
Tournament. If you'd like me to, No, I'll enter too.
Like, Adelie is seriously too good for this game.
Go on like this. I can't keep waiting around and
She's
relying
too
on
good
that
for
way.
all of this shit.
After all, Ida and the epitaphs are my problems too.
Yeah, now they are.
Please let me join your team, Haseo. I promise I won't get in your way. I'll do my best to become really strong.
God, I hate how, like, she feels like she's so useless to Haseo, of all people. Like, I will never understand, like,
Right now, it's
Adelie's
just me and Alcade.
attraction to Haseo, or anyone's attraction to
We still have a
Haseo.
spot open.
Now we got Alcade getting a crush on Haseo. Yeah, you guys can see where this is going.
understand, right?
Adelie and
There's no way we
Alcade,
can lose this fight.
both on the same team with Haseo. Yeah, it's...
Really, I promise.
I didn't say just because it's my favorite. I didn't say melodrama is not going to be in it.
Thank you for registering for the Holy Palace Tournament. Good luck in the arena.
What a polite
We will be
NPC.
informing you of your first match of the day via email.
She's like one of those people you call on the phone for,
Good.
like, the
That takes
automatic
care of registration.
customer service stuff, and she's like, "Thank you for calling, whatever. We
I'll contact
really
you once I
appreciate
receive
your
word of the
time."
tournament. Make sure to level up in the meantime.
Oh, Haseo, thank you so much.
Man, I used to get, like, surveys for my, I guess for my, like, health insurance, and, like, every time I would call them up, I don't think they were surveys, but I think they were, like, I don't know, they said to call this to, like, verify some information, but it ended up being, like, just, like, a checklist of things they wanted me to, like, confirm about my health. But, like, the voice recording was, like, so polite. She was like, "Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to call us." And it was like, I used to dread it because I have, like, a fear of phones now. Like, I can't, I find phones, like, so intrusive in, like, everyday life. But just doing that, I was like, I started to, like, look forward to those messages. Just so I could hear that nice voice on the phone again. It's so sad. But Alcade, I want to see how good you really are. There's this quest we should do. A twisted name for a twisted guy, don't you think? You can sign up for this quest at the shop. Don't forget to invite me. And it requires 3 people, so bring whoever you think would be good for the third. Don't keep me waiting.
Looks like Alcade is feeling a lot better.
Alcade's a little
I guess
flirty,
I'll hang
too.
out with her for a bit.
Yay! You gave me a card! There are few things as happy as getting a card. Let me tell you this in return. Greeting cards that have the word gift in their name are very rare. If you ever find one, you should certainly consider when you send it to. I guess. Thanks for the greeting card. If you give someone a greeting card, that means you're a good person. Lol. Today I got a hidden werewolf tribe card when I bought a pack of the World gummies. It's a rare class that was only introduced during the final days of the previous version. Yeah, so in the first generation there was like this manga series called Dot Hack Dusk or Legend of the Twilight, I don't know, people will call it different things for translation purposes, but there was kind of like a werewolf class. I forget the character's name, but I don't know. Didn't really look forward to like that manga in the end. Like even back when I was really into anime and like the height of my dot hack phase, like there was something about it that just like didn't draw me in, and I think it was the art style. It was a very like chibi kind of art style, and the story seemed a lot more like a normal anime. It didn't feel anything at all like Dot Hack Sign and the original Dot Hack games. It felt like very out of place. So like at my best, I liked it enough. What's this you sent me? Thanks for the nice greeting. I'll be sure to make you into a fine man. Yeah, she's very flirty. She's a lot more forward, which I appreciate in this game because there's so many, you know, he said, she said bullshit. Yeah, there's nothing really too much in the news, honestly. There's just some more Apakalu drawings that we'll finish this episode off with. But, yeah, it wasn't... I know I, you know, practically praised the first generation by this point, but that is something about it that I was never really crazy about. Wasn't really crazy about the AI Buster novel, either. You know, when I talk about my love for the first generation, it's usually just about Dot Hack Sign and the PS2 games. I forget how much stuff is actually in the original generation. There's so much Dot Hack stuff, like, all over the place. It's kind of hard to keep track of it all, and to be honest, it is kind of hard to, like, have the... Jeez, that's creepy Sakaki. It's a little hard to keep, like, you know, everyone on the same weight as each other. Oh hey, that was my waifu from the first series. Who'd thought she'd be in Dot Hack GU? Hint, hint. But anyway, I'll see you later, guys. We'll do something else next time.